The epic journey of apples. In the annals of human history, there are few fruits as emblematic and enduring as the apple. From ancient myths and legends to modern orchards, the apple has woven itself into the fabric of human civilization, symbolizing everything from knowledge and temptation to health and prosperity. To truly appreciate the apple's significance, we must journey back to its origins, tracing its path from the wild forests of Central Asia to the orchards of today. The story of the apple begins in the heart of Central Asia, specifically in the region that includes parts of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. Here, in the ancient forests and rugged landscapes, the progenitor of the modern apple, Mythical, grew wild and untamed. This species of apple, with its small, tart fruits and diverse genetic makeup, is considered the ancestor of most cultivated apples. It was in these dense forests, among the sprawling roots and towering canopies, that the apple's journey began. The ancient wild apples were not the glossy, uniform fruits we see in grocery stores today. They were small, varied in flavor, and often quite tart. These apples were a vital source of sustenance for the people of Central Asia, providing nourishment in a landscape where other resources might be scarce. The fruits of Mythical were rich in vitamins and could be stored for long periods, making them an essential component of the early diet. As human societies began to develop and expand, so too did their relationship with the apple. Archaeological evidence suggests that apples were among the earliest fruits to be cultivated. By around 4000 to 3000 BCE, the practice of cultivating apples had spread to neighboring regions, including the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. Early farmers recognized the apple's value not only as a food source, but also for its adaptability and ease of cultivation. The apple's journey from the wild forests of Central Asia to the cultivated orchards of the ancient world was facilitated by the migration and trade routes that connected diverse cultures. As people traveled, they carried with them seeds and saplings, introducing apples to new environments. By the time of the ancient Greeks and Romans, apples had become a common and beloved fruit. The Greeks enjoyed apples in various forms, from fresh to dried, and even as an ingredient in wines and sauces. The Roman poet Virgil praised apples in his writings, highlighting their importance in both daily life and mythology. The Romans played a crucial role in the dissemination of apple cultivation techniques throughout Europe. They established extensive orchards and developed various cultivars, experimenting with different growing methods to improve the fruit's quality and yield. Roman horticulturists began to refine apple varieties, selecting for traits such as sweetness, size, and storage longevity. Their efforts laid the groundwork for the rich diversity of apples that would emerge in later centuries. As the Roman Empire declined and the Middle Ages began, the tradition of apple cultivation continued, albeit with some disruption. During this period, monasteries played a vital role in preserving and expanding apple cultivation. Monastic gardens were well known for their cultivation of fruit trees, including apples. Monks meticulously tended to their orchards, documenting different apple varieties and improving cultivation techniques. Their work ensured that apple growing remained a vital part of European agriculture through the tumultuous centuries that followed. The Renaissance marked a period of renewed interest and experimentation in horticulture. The rediscovery of ancient texts and the expansion of trade routes led to the introduction of new apple varieties and cultivation techniques. During this time, European explorers carried apple seeds and saplings to the New World. The first apple trees in North America were planted by European settlers who recognized the fruit's potential in the new land. These early American apples were often small, tart, and quite different from the varieties familiar to Europeans. However, they provided a crucial source of nutrition and adaptability in the challenging conditions of the New World. One of the most notable figures in American apple history is Johnny Appleseed, a legendary pioneer and nurseryman who became synonymous with the apple spread across North America. Born John Chapman in the late 18th century, Appleseed embarked on a journey across the American frontier, planting apple orchards and distributing apple seeds. His efforts were instrumental in establishing apple cultivation in the American Midwest and beyond. While some aspects of his story have become mythologized, his impact on American agriculture and apple culture is undeniable. By the 19th century, apple cultivation had become an established and thriving industry in both Europe and America. The development of new apple varieties, driven by both scientific advancements and traditional breeding methods, led to a remarkable increase in the diversity of apples available. Varieties such as the Granny Smith, Fuji, and Braeburn emerged, each with its unique flavor, texture, and use. This period also saw the advent of modern agricultural practices, including grafting techniques that allowed for more precise control over apple varieties and production. The 20th century brought further innovations in apple cultivation and consumption. Advances in agricultural science and technology led to improved growing techniques, pest control methods, and storage solutions. Apples became not only a staple food but also a symbol of health and wellness, thanks in part to popular adages like "an apple a day keeps the doctor away." The rise of commercial apple production transformed the apple from a local specialty into a global commodity, with apples being cultivated and distributed worldwide. In recent decades, the apple has continued to evolve in response to changing consumer preferences and environmental concerns. The focus on organic and sustainable farming practices has led to a renewed emphasis on traditional cultivation methods and the preservation of heirloom apple varieties. Efforts to reduce pesticide use and promote biodiversity have sparked a renaissance in apple growing, with a growing appreciation for the rich history and diversity of this beloved fruit. Today, the apple stands as a testament to humanity's enduring relationship with nature. Its journey from the wild forests of Central Asia to the orchards and grocery stores of the modern world reflects a story of adaptation, innovation, and connection. The apple's influence extends beyond its culinary uses. It has inspired art, literature, and culture throughout history. From the biblical story of Adam and Eve to the modern-day apple industry, this remarkable fruit continues to captivate and nourish people across the globe. In conclusion, the origins of the apple are as rich and varied as the fruit itself. From its humble beginnings in the wilds of Central Asia to its role as a global symbol of health and prosperity, the apple's journey is a reflection of human ingenuity and resilience. As we enjoy this timeless fruit, let us remember the ancient forests, pioneering explorers, and dedicated cultivators who have shaped the apple into the cherished food we know today.